Good morning, everyone. This is essentially part 2 of information we'll cover regarding SBLC meetings. The first one, if you haven't watched it already, has to do with the members that should be attending the SBLC meetings. With the end of the school year, we want to make sure that we're doing everything that we can do to finish out the school year strong. So we should be covering these 5 areas during our SBLC meetings. Number 1, the student needs and support. This is our major topic, the purpose of our meetings. The team will discuss students' needs, academic, emotional, behavioral, as well as identify strategies for support, interventions, and counseling. As a rule, counseling sessions are not to be placed within an IEP, a 504, or any other type of set program as a strategy. Students are open to come to counseling at any time. A counselor can schedule see a student once a week, twice a week. It's short term. It's really check-in, check-out type of things like that. But it should not be placed in part of the plan. If a counselor has already seen a student that has been placed for referral, then the counselor can provide what information they can based off of privacy. Number 2, we're going to talk about academic progress and challenges. The committee will review data regarding student progress and identify difficulties. The committee should brainstorm solutions for improvement, and this is after progress monitoring has been done for at least 6 weeks. So during your initial meeting, you're going to determine on the data presented at the initial meeting if the student will move forward. In moving forward, that will require 6 weeks of progress monitoring. And the teachers are going to have to keep that data. And another quick reference goes over the types of data that teachers will be able to provide if they're unfamiliar with that. Also, the committee will discuss behavior concerns. The team will address any behavior referrals, what was the trigger or the situation for those referrals. They'll discuss strategies for positive reinforcement and interventions. And if you have a PBIS school-wide program, how is PBIS helping or not helping, or how can it be adjusted for that? As a rule, counseling, as I stated earlier, is not added to any plans. However, a counselor can meet with the student if it is deemed necessary to assist with teaching coping strategies. This is different should the student see the school social worker or school psychologist. So if you do not have a school counselor and you are the school psychologist or social worker who is a chairperson, then it might be necessary for you to meet with this particular student. Number 4, family and community involvement. As I stated in part 1, parents and guardians should be allowed to come to the meetings. Sometimes they're at the initial meeting, sometimes they're not there until this point where we're talking about progress monitoring. They will explore with the team, with the other members of the team, ways to strengthen partnerships. For instance, if your community has a recreation department that provides activities, whether it's summer activities or during school, whether it's baseball or art or day outs, what can they do to help with the student? Support for student success with mentors, local support groups, boys and girls clubs, and other outside resources. As a school counselor, you should be familiar with all resources in your area. That's one of the most helpful areas that will benefit you as a school counselor when referring out or needing assistance with various things within your school or items within your school or topics within your school. I had a partnership or a relationship with our Louisiana Department of Health, and they would come in and do maturity and hygiene workshops with our older students, and that was great. Also, I had previously worked at River Place Behavioral Health Hospital, which is a hospital for adults and teens, behavioral health hospital. And so I had a relationship with them where they came and they spoke with the faculty and staff, as well as speaking with the students on behavior and coping skills. So it's very good to have knowledge about those groups and partnerships in your community. Number 5, you will go over school policies and programs. So those things that you have in place. I had spoken previously about PBIS. Do you have a bullying program? Are social emotional learning provided? Are lessons provided? How do you handle discipline and academics? And you consider if there's any needed approval or adjustments to your policies, campus policies, or if there's something that you might have to go to the school board and request some policy or programs changes or inclusions into your campus. Of course, they're going to ask for data, and all of your meetings should be recorded. They should be filed, and that way you can provide that information should you need any changes or improvements to your campus. And most of all, remember that each district is different. However, the information that I provided in this quick reference hits on the very basic areas that are to be discussed. So you might have other areas. It might be broken down differently, but these are just the basic areas that every SBLC meeting that I've personally attended and have spoken to other counselors from other districts have gone over. It's pretty much basics, and again, every district is different, so there might be needs assessments. They might be more in-depth data that you will definitely need to go through. Progress monitoring is huge when moving children forward. The diagnostician might be there to determine if she's evaluated the student or met with the student and an initial meeting. Sometimes they do that. So just remember that. This is just a quick reference of basic information. If you like this quick reference and you'd like more, check out my social media platforms. If you'd like this in a digital download that you could have on hand as a reference for you, email me at thecounselorforcounselors@gmail.com. Hope this helps. Have a great day.